Welcome to Cigars and Hip Hop. Hip Hop. Hip Hop. Hip Hop. A show about hip hop during its golden age era.
Turn my mic on.
We'll also be discussing cigars and drinks that we enjoy during the discussion.
What's in your cup? What you be smoking up?
And now, let's get on with the show.
Yeah.
I also want to say that Too Short, next to all the lyrics he had, I think his production, the whole bass style. I mean, people used to love Too Short for the bass too.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, people listen to the bassy hip hop today, which they call trap, or I don't know what to call it honestly. But I mean, you can see where you can't say that this style today didn't have an inspiration from back in the day when there was a lot of bass. Everybody was just having all kinds of fucking. The trunk was filled with woofers and I mean, we had a lot of fucking double bass going on.
Well, it's like what E40 called it. It was called smobbing music.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you just throw it in. You had your 12s in the back. You turned it up as loud as it could go. Your Kenwood as loud as it could go. And then you just press play, and then you just drove around. Like, that's what me and my buddies used to do. I remember my buddy got his car. My buddy G, he got his car, his Camaro. Put the beat in it, and we would just drive up and down El Camino, down to Redwood City, drive right back. Drive up to Redwood City, drive right back. Like, that was the pinnacle. But like with Too Short, it's always weird to me because like Too Short's not a native of the Bay Area. He's from LA. Moved up to Oakland.
I didn't know that.
Lived in Oakland for a long time. Then he left Oakland, went to Atlanta, lived out there, which is all good to me. Like, I mean, every artist that's from the Bay Area has probably done that at some point. Like, they've all moved out of the Bay to go check stuff like that. Like, Too Short's music, I like some of Too Short's music, but I don't ever like when I think about it. Like, he's not the first thing that comes to my mind when I think of the Bay, which is not necessarily a knock on him. It's just more of like the music he made, I just wasn't really feeling it, I guess, when I was growing up. Like, now I can appreciate it a little bit more.
Too Short music growing up to me was just like neighborhood music.
Yeah.
I mean, I can still remember Too Short coming to different neighborhoods selling CDs. Selling tapes.
Right.
And he would make a rhyme for you for anything. Too Short made me a rhyme about me. He'd do whatever, and it just basically he just seemed like he was a neighborhood rapper.
Yeah.
And then he just bubbled, and once he started getting appreciated, like you said, he up and started fucking with the South sound, kind of like with Lil Jon and all them,
Yeah.
And no offense, it was all good and everything. Everybody needs to change, but I don't know. When I think about Too Short, I still think about the house parties and just being out at the spot, selling your weed or selling whatever, and you had your box with you, and you'd be listening to Freaky Tales or
That's right.
whatever.
That's right.
And it was just good times. But then I start thinking about other shit. I start thinking of the Mac Dre's and other cats. I think of the E40s that are still relevant in the Bay Area. Well, not Mac Dre, but the E40s are still relevant right now. They're still doing shit, and that's when I think of Bay Area rappers.
Right. Well, they also too, like, people don't realize that Too Short was part of a group. He wasn't,
really?
He wasn't solo.
Wait, what was he part of before?
It was him and Freddie B.
Yeah, Freddie B.
Oh, what?
It was that was like his first 2 albums. I want to say it was like Freddie B and Too Short.
Okay.
And then Freddie B went to jail, and then basically Too Short. That's when Too Short made Freaky Tales. Was right after Freddie B went to jail, and then basically blew up on his own accord. But like him and Freddie B were hustling tape, like what Chris was saying.
Yeah, the trunk.
That was them two, was like hustling, and like he said, people like the drug dealers and the pimps and stuff would pay them money to drop their names in a song. It was like, and then they come back and sell it to them for $20. Like that's
dope
game
though. That's
right
dope.
there.
Yeah,
Gotta be-
yeah,
gotta
that's
be
dope.
history though.
Like,
You know,
that's
some
game.
history.
You know what I was gonna say though, because you brought it up. The one track that I thought was really interesting, considering the fact that he did go to Atlanta and worked with Little John and the East Side Boys, is "Shake That Monkey." Like that. The reason why I say that is because you got two different like. Little John had a more like crazy upbeat, you know, like vibe to his music, and then you have Too Short who had a chill, more like laid back, like, you know, vibe to a lot of his music. You know what I mean? So having that mixture was interesting, and it worked very well for lack of a better term. Just that track, just
Well, that's funny though, because that's the part of like Too Short that I don't like.
Oh, what?
I don't like Atlanta. I don't like Atlanta Too Short. I didn't like Blow the Whistle. I don't like the thing is, but like the thing is, I like Little John.
Yeah,
I like the music.
no,
I like the music that Little John produces. It's
Yeah.
not more of like. It's not the fact that I think Little John. I don't think Little John is whack at all. I think Little John is actually a very smart and very musically talented producer.
yeah.
Rapper, that's another story. But I think the beats that Little John has concocted, they're amazing. But that Too Short, like that early to mid 2000s, is not the Too Short that I like. I liked the Oakland Too Short.
That was strip club Too Short.
Yeah,
that was
like-
stripper music.
Like I like the Getting It.
Yeah.
That's like my favorite song of Too Short is Getting It. But yeah, like I like that Too Short. To me, that's when he was at his pinnacle. To me, I just never really liked the shake your tail feather, the blow the whistle type of stuff. I just wasn't. It's not that wasn't kind of.
You like the freaky tales.
I feel it. I mean, to be. I mean,
Like listen to him to like if you listen to the two different like, and I get what you're saying. Like, and I agree with you. Like,
yeah.
I'm not saying that they're bad songs.
No.
I'm just saying I wasn't
It wasn't.
feeling
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
not my
Compared
cup of
to the
tea.
rest of his catalog.
Yeah. Like that's the last part. Those would be the last songs I would ever listen to if I had to listen to a Too Short like
A whole,
like
yeah.
catalog would be. That stuff would be on the back burner to me.
I'm gonna tell you. To me, I agree with what you're saying because to me that old Too Short, if you can just try to take a picture in your mind of just him in like a fucking somebody's house in a bedroom with fucking foam cartons on the wall, a stocking over the microphone, somebody with a little 8-track, machine, little, just making up a beat and whatsoever, just raw.
Yeah.
Just like raw, unfiltered hip hop.
Yeah.
And then when he started fucking with Lil Jon and everything, it's like you took that pit bull that was hungry and you just put him in this big ass supermarket that's full of meat.
Yeah.
It's not the same. He ain't hungry no more. It's just it don't have that same feel. He done lost the viciousness that he had. It just came to be. I mean, I can remember I was in LA at the time when all that blow the whistle shit came. And I can remember driving down, our thing was we would roll down Crenshaw, and then when we was feeling uppity, we'd be up on Sunset with the white folks riding around. And I had a Escalade, and I can still remember driving down Sunset and hearing these white girls listening to Too Short. And it was that blow the whistle song, and they was just, all dancing and bopping their heads and shit. And it just made me really think about how he then came from us in the hood,
Oh.
just us listening to him, knowing about him, and now I'm in a different city and I'm looking at these little white kids just listening to shit and be like, they really don't know shit about history of the artist.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't know shit about where he from, where he started at, the type of shit he did, or any of his previous cuts. And it just seemed to become watered down to me because I look at an artist by his fans.
Yeah. Okay.
So
But I think a lot of that too was that he had left Oakland because of how bad it had gotten in Oakland. With like all the killings and shit.
Yeah.
And I remember, like the Loonies had said that's why the town got rid of Shote. And it was like, I guess I don't know what happened with that, but it was just more of like I think Too Short. When I was watching a documentary or something where he was talking about it or something, he was just like, it just got too much. Where he was like, people I knew were killing each other. Mm-hmm. For nothing, for no reason, and
Every
it was
day
like
was something different.
And he was like, I couldn't take it. I had to leave. So I don't fault him for leaving Oakland. I don't fault him for leaving the Bay to better his mind, and I don't even fault him for like I don't think we should fault him for the music. That music, you know, that music people liked it, so that's cool. I'm not knocking that. It's just not on my playlist to listen to. Like one of the songs I still listen to though is the shit he did with Rappin' Forte.
Yeah.
Shout out to Rappin' Forte.
Never Talk Down is one of the dopest songs ever, in my opinion. That pretty much didn't get a lot of love. Well, Rappin' Forte is again underrated, and again this goes down to like I was like writing down like artists that like Bay Area artists that like greatest Bay Area artists and stuff like that, and trying to.
What the fuck was that?
Sound like something
Yeah,
else.
those songs.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
But yeah, sorry, I know we got
I think we just heard our first ghost.
maybe there's somebody who don't like Rappin' Forte.
Someone's knocking.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so
Yeah, rapping Forte. He's not alive.
no, he's still alive. Yeah,
Damn.
but yeah,
Anyways.
yeah. So we kind of got away from the
No,
the actuals,
it's cool. I mean,
our points for the day.
I think I love to hear what you guys have to say, you Big Chris and Chris, about what he was saying, Seismic, what he was saying about his top, you know, being
Eminem.
on the devil rap side.
Oh.
I love to hear you guys' take on what he was saying. I mean,
Well, 'cause-
you agree, you
well,
disagree? Oh.
Chris was mentioning that. Who'd you have on that side? I remember.
Cool G Rap.
Yeah, Cool G Rap, yeah,
Big
right?
Daddy Kane.
I can see why you would say that, but the reason why I gave Eminem that pedestal is because he is just too vicious with it. Like he cuts you with a knife deep in terms of his words. And that is just my opinion. I can't see.
I don't know. What do you think, Big Chris?
Oh man, I mean, Eminem ain't never been a favorite rapper of mine.
Okay.
I ain't got nothing against him.
That's fine.
I ain't
That's
got
fine.
nothing bad to say. I think he's skillful lyrically. I think he's very skillful.
Yeah.
But I just don't like Eminem. Just not saying him as a person or anything. His beat. I just ain't never been able to get to it, man. And I don't know. Maybe it's because of the way I was raised. Because you guys, 90s. I was around Sugar Hill Gang, and
Thieves.
and Marley Marl and Grandmaster Flash, Furious 5, Schoolie D, Spoonie G, all them old school. So as things evolved, I still found my heart in New York.
Yeah, no, I feel that. That's the
You
Mecca
know,
hip hop. That's the Mecca hip hop. I feel it.
And yeah, I'm an East Coast kid. I rep.
I feel that.
I
I
mean,
feel that.
excuse me, West Coast. My bad. I'm proud of being a California kid. I'm proud of the roots and areas that I've been able to stomp on. But when it comes to the music, I'm always really gonna have a connect with the East Coast,
Yeah, no, I actually would agree.
and I always will have an East Coast artist on my top 5. I don't really have too many in the West Coast that I will put up there other than, and it may sound, I know a lot of people gonna disagree, but to me, when it comes to the West Coast, I still like the Ice-T,
Yeah,
King T, the Alcoholics, and I even like DOC.
Oh, okay.
I put him up there, and then we got the Dre's and the Snoops and all, but they still are not up there to the quality of like when Kool G Rap tells a story.
Yep.
Kool G Rap is telling stories of shit that I've done, I've lived. And it just kind of gives me like goosebumps because I'm like, damn, in a way you'd be like, damn, I ain't the only motherfucker that did that shit. Or be like, damn, now I know somebody else know how I was feeling when I was doing, it's shit that I can really visually see and feel and know how he was feeling when he was going. He ain't just rhymed about it.
Yeah, you relate to it. He speaks to you.
Yeah, and he grimy. Kool
Yeah.
G Rap to me is one of them dudes that I like to look up to. We probably the same age, but he's still wearing, his jeans and his hoodie, baseball cap. And then we got the Big Daddy Kane's, the gentleman. But even though he got that suave, debonair type look to him,
Now, yeah.
he will cut you up with his tongue.
Yeah, that's true.
Verbally, just Big Daddy Kane would just cut you up. I think of like one of his rhymes, like Raw. He just be flowing, just ripping it.
I feel it.
And then I think of Master Ace, just because Slim Kid, kind of looking all innocent, but then as soon as he opened his mouth, it's just like a fucking barrage of bullets is just flying out. And it's that skill that, to me, that I want to stay loyal to, because I feel like as a fan, I'm gonna be loyal to them because they still loyal to the game.
Yeah.
They still doing the same shit that's still knocking.
I see what you're saying.
The same was like Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang is still that new. Y'all listen to that new Method Man?
Oh yeah, that shit came out.
The Meth Lab.
Yeah, I need to get that. That's
The shit
fire.
is hot. It's heat. It's just that old school Wu-Tang shit.
Okay.
Still.
Does he have any features on there, or is it just him?
No, his Red Man is on there.
Okay,
I think.
okay.
He got a couple other artists on.
Is anyone from the Wu on there?
Yeah.
Besides Red?
I think
Red?
Inspector Deck maybe on it. I forget who else on there, but I'm still dissecting the album.
Okay, because I mean to look at that. I saw that post and I'm like, okay.
It's heat.
Okay.
It's a good album. It's a really good album. But I just will always be partial to the East Coast.
No, I mean I'll give you that because like learning about the rap game, like I that's where I started to look at like the Mecca, like that's where it all started. That's where it all came from. Looking at DJ Kool Herc, the first DJ to put out the first hip hop party. I don't know. Oh, you guys know this. I had to learn about this firsthand, and honestly, I wish I was there to see all that shit go down. That shit's legendary. Just hearing about those stories, how it all came about. And that's where it all came from and shit. So, just like I agree. Like when it comes down to like even with like the top two, like Biggie and Tupac, like people forget that Tupac is from New York. Like he came to the West Coast, I think, at the age of 18, if I'm not mistaken. He was going to school for being an actor,
art school, or some type of that's where he met Jada Pinkett and all that shit.
So like even with the top two of my favorite rappers, like they're both from New York. They're both from Mecca. You feel me? Like, and so I can't disagree with you on there. You know what I mean? Like West Coast rap is always going to be in my heart. West Coast, Fresh Coast all day. But at the end of the day, like even with all the rappers that I like on the West Coast, the thing about the West Coast rappers is that each of them have their own pedestal. I can't really compare them to each other. And I guess that's
so you can't compare Ice Cube to
I can compare Ice Cube
that crazy to Coolio.
Let's not front on Coolio. That dude is a straight gangster.
Julio's a gangster.
That dude is a gangster.
He's a fucking gangster.
Like,
he is.
But so the thing is, like with Eminem, and the one thing that I've always struggled with is that Eminem lyrically he's an amazing lyricist.
Yeah.
But there are other amazing lyricists out there.
Oh no, of course.
Could probably hang with them.
Yeah.
For one, Big L.
Oh yeah, no.
Big L would kill him.
Big L.
That would be a battle.
But the thing about
that would be a great battle. I would love to pay to see that.
The biggest thing with Eminem is there's never been a more angry rapper.
Yeah.
That like, and it's not necessarily because he's a white angry guy. No, he's just the music he made. Like if you sit back and you digest the music that he made. It's like it's angry. It's expressed music, which is a masterpiece. Both of his first two albums are masterpieces in my mind. Like they're angry albums, and rightfully so. You look at his history of his background, all the shit he went through. Like
you got to be in some fucked up shit when your mama sue you.
I mean, the thing about even just bringing that up, like he didn't speak on topics that were. Like he spoke on stuff that most rappers would think is corny.
Well, he didn't.
He
wasn't a hood rapper.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Like he's not gonna talk about going on the block. He's not gonna. He didn't. And that's what one of the things I appreciate about Eminem is that he never went away from who he was as a rapper. Like even hanging out with Dr. Dre and Snoop and all those guys, he could have and Corrupt and Exhibit and all these other rappers. He could have easily flipped it and been like talking about shit that he never experienced.
Exactly.
But all his music has always been, and this is why I respect him so much, is that he's always kept his true to himself.
Yeah, he stayed in his lane.
All of his music was always true to who he was, and I always respected him for that. Lyrically, like, yeah, he's one of the nicest lyricists, but yeah, I think there's other cats. I think Big Pun is another lyricist that
Underrated.
could probably hang with Eminem. You know, Andre 3000, I think is is a person. Redman, I think, is a person.
Oh shit, Redman.
You know, there's a lot of MCs that are lyrically talented, like Razkaz from the West Coast. I think can hang with them. I think Corrupt can hang with Eminem.
I think
Like,
Cassidy can also too. Like
Yeah.
Cassidy is I don't know if you saw it like in battle, but
no, it's just I think Eminem deserves everything, all the everything he's ever gotten, everything anybody said like positive about him. He deserves all that shit. He's not a fake MC.
No.
Eminem is true to who he is, and that's why I appreciate his music so much. Is because like when I listen to Ice Cube, I'm not going to hear Eminem stuff. When I hear Eminem, I'm not going to hear Ice Cube content, but I'm going to hear Ice Cube the way he like, because Ice Cube when he rapped in his younger days was a pretty angry rapper himself.
Yeah.
So you're gonna hear that in Eminem because Ice Cube is an influence on Eminem. So it's like, yeah, you hear that, but you don't hear the angriness that like Eminem produces. Like, yeah, you hear a lot of like fuck the police and stuff like that. You hear angry expression, but you're not hearing like Eminem. Like Eminem has like it's just a different. There's never been another white MC that had like, and you could say, well, it's because he's from the trailer parks or he's from basically the ghetto of Whitesville, whatever you want to call it. I just think it's like Eminem was an angry person that basically expressed himself in a way that nobody in the industry has been able to. There's been a lot of great white MCs.
Yeah.
I think MC Search is a fucking talented ass
yeah.
fucking
Search got skills.
rapper, but he wasn't angry. The Beastie Boys are amazing rappers, but they weren't angry.
They weren't angry.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
the late Mac Miller.
yeah, the late Mac Miller, he wasn't angry. He was happy-go-lucky type
Yeah.
of person. Like, you know what I mean?
Vanilla Ice.
Oh my God.
Right. Ice. But you just don't hear. Nobody has ever rapped with the anger that Eminem has had, and I think that's why it made him such an amazing MC. Because not only is he lyrically talented, and his production and the way he builds music is second to Dr. Dre. Like he literally is like a white, or he's just like not even white version of Dr. Dre. He's just literally like an extension of Dr. Dre at this point in his life. Like all the stuff he learned.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. The fact that you mentioned him, I was gonna say that like, yeah, you guys remember the track "Still Dre"?
Yeah.
Like the fact that like he was able to, like even when Eminem raps with rappers who actually come from that life, like you're right. He doesn't. He sticks to his own.
Yeah.
He sticks to his lane, and it doesn't matter. Like that track "Still Dre" is still hard.
Yeah. It's hard, like when you have like so many like God MCs. Like Eminem, I believe, is a God MC. He's
on his own pedestal for sure. I don't think
he has his right to be able to be in a conversation with any top five, however you want to like. Obviously, top five lists are always going to be subjective because it's to somebody else's opinion.
Yeah.
Your top five is going to be different from my top five. Frank's top five is going to be different than your top five. Chris is going to be different than mine. It's always going to be different because it's based off of when you fell in love with hip hop.
Yeah, you're right. Preference.
Frank got Ricky Martin on his top.
Unfortunately.
Mambo number 5 on there.
Mark Anthony.
Lou Vega.
Lou Vega. Mambo number 37. What was that shit? Yeah.
Yeah, I just but it's
Cypress Hill was.
Oh,
I
yes.
thought, real Latinos came on the map. I don't know, maybe before others came in, but what I was gonna say was the beauty of hip hop, right? Big props to New York because obviously they
They started it all.
they started that shit, and I think the beauty of hip hop is those who listen to it in the U.S. and as it started getting branches into the world. I think people starting like you, Big Chris, you related you connected with Coogee rap, right? Mm-hmm. And I think others in the world, in their own little corners of the world, started connecting with something similar. And I think that's beautiful because I feel that you know, I mean, that's where hip hop is today. Different
Yeah.
people can't connect.
Well, see, you know, the thing about hip hop though is it's really, my opinion, an international thing. You got, and when I speak international, I'm talking about nationalities, because you got you black people,
Yeah.
you got your Latinos, you got the white boys, you've got, you guys. What was the cat? What was his name? Jin.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Jin.
the MC.
What was he? Was he Japanese?
I think he was Asian. He was Asian. He was some sort of
I think
Asian.
he was.
He was one of the nieces.
I don't know if he was Chinese or Japanese. I'm not. I don't think he was
nobody
Japanese.
takes that in the wrong way, but he was of Asian descent. But of all of those, when I listen to, I'll even go back far. I'll talk about, you guys remember that group, Latino group, Lighter Shade of Brown?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
On a Sunday afternoon.
Exactly. I can remember just listening to them, and it wasn't, oh, I'm about to listen to some Mexican rappers. I never once put something in the player and say, oh, I'm about to listen to a black rapper, or I'm about to listen to a Mexican rapper, or a white rapper. It was just I was either be like, oh, I'm about to listen to the Beastie Boys, or I'm about to listen to Eminem. You didn't trip on what color they were, because they were skilled. They
Exactly.
were very, very skillful. You know, Cypress Hill. I don't look at Cypress Hill as, oh, you know, one's a Cuban and, you know, Mug's a white boy, you know, Be Real. I don't even know what is Be Real. Be Real Mexican? Or,
I think he's Mexican, right?
you know, I don't even look at him like, I look at him as Cypress Hill.
Yeah, right. As a group.
As
Yeah.
a group. And that's one thing I really appreciate with hip hop, is that people look at them as groups and look at them as artists and not as what color they are.
Yeah.
Unless you come out with some bullshit like Vanilla Ice, you know, because to me that was a white rapper.
I mean, he like.
That was.
Well, I think it's just more of like those people that you all named. They have, and I can't really say this for a fact, so I don't want to make. I guess I'll throw it out there, but I don't know how true it is. All those rappers that you said, all had respect for for hip hop.
Yeah.
They all had a certain level of respect. They weren't in it for just money.
Yeah.
And I don't know if, and maybe Vanilla Ice, maybe he said this somewhere, I don't know. Maybe he was only in it for the money, you know? You know, if you go back and you listen to like Exhibit's, like, I think it's his first album, you know, he has that song Paparazzi. Mm-hmm. You know, listen to that song. Like, that song is very powerful, because, you know, he talks about how, like, you know, he's not in it just for the money. But on the flip side of that, you have on Machiavelli, I think it's not Hail Mary, Blasphemy maybe? I can't remember what actual song it is, but like Idi Amin, one of the outlaws, you know, he talks about, like, if you are not in this rap game for the motherfucking cash, man, then what is your motherfucking purpose? So there's a double edge to that, because you're also making money, but if you're not, but I feel like it's like if you're only in it for money, then you're bound to fail it. Then sure, have your one hit wonder, be a one hit wonder, and then get out of the game.
Yeah.
That was Vanilla Ice to a certain degree.
Yeah.
He also got to the point where he got punked hard enough to where it was like you couldn't really, he probably really couldn't do any more music, because it's like he has two major songs in hip hop. He has Ice Ice Baby, and he has Go Ninja.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles shit.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Did he not get extorted for Ice Ice Baby? Or am I
By Suge Knight.
Yeah, okay, that's what I
he
thought.
didn't write the shit. The writers who wrote that shit, he never paid them.
Right.
So
that was
Suge
the
Knight.
issue.
And Suge Knight was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get you y'all money, plus I'm gonna give me some money too."
Right.
So that's that makes more sense.
Another rapper I was watching this couple of days. I was watching YouTube, and I was looking for Jim Carrey when he used to be on.
Oh yeah, he did the
Oh, when he did that Ice Ice, yeah.
But he also did the one
Snow.
Informer, yeah. What was Snow? What was he from, Canada or Seattle?
He
or-
was from Canada, but
Canada.
he got hooked up with a Jamaican dude.
Yeah.
Did some like little fake reggae rap shit. You know, there's a lot of imposters, as they would call them.
Impastas.
But, you know, there's a lot of true MCs in the game. And you, like Chris said, it's like when I listen to hip hop, I don't like when I listen to the compilation, like the San Quinn compilations. I don't care that this dude's Latino. I don't care that there's
Exactly.
I don't care there's an Asian dude flowing. Like Pilo is one of the dopest like young
Filipinos?
MCs,
Yeah.
Filipino cat coming out of not Vacaville. Maybe it is.
I thought it was Berkeley or something like that.
Yeah, he's coming out from the East Bay somewhere, North Bay, but dude is super talented. Like
producing his own stuff.
That dude is. That's what I like to see. Like I don't give a shit what nationality you are. I just want to hear some fucking good music.
Yeah.
And if it's good, I'm gonna listen to it.
And that concludes another episode of Cigars and Hip Hop. See you next time. Peace.